Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
This is Saturday, June the 18th. We're downtown Monroe for the Big Flower Festival, and as you can see, quite a few people are out here. Very sunshiny day, a little bit warm, but the people have still come out to see the flowers.
This is Far Farms. We're in Winder, Georgia. We do strawberries in the fall, in the spring. Then we got your produce: cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, zucchini, corn, beans, and peppers. And then in the fall we grow pumpkins. Come out and see us.
Okay, can people come to your farm and pick up the produce?
So we can do farm pickup, but it's by appointment for the produce. Now, strawberry season, we're open weekends and during the week, and then in September and October we open on the weekends for pumpkins.
Okay, and that's your company behind you and your telephone number.
Yep.
Okay.
And their email.
So people could call that number to get specifics on different.
Yes, sir. Okay. And we have a Facebook and Instagram. It's just Far Farms.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael of Spring Valley Farms. We're located in Youth, 4 miles south of Loganville. We can be reached at the market every Saturday, right here in Monroe, and we grow organically.
So you're here at the farmers market in Monroe, okay?
Yep, we've been with the farmers market for 6 years.
Okay. And this is some of your product right now in front of me, right?
Yes, squash, zucchini, we had some patty pan earlier, we had cucumbers and eggplant. We've got, coming up, we've got some spaghetti squash, and we'll have pumpkins this fall. We'll have green beans and okra, and hopefully we'll have some tomatoes. We're working on the tomatoes. They're still growing.
But they'll probably be several weeks off on the tomatoes.
Tomatoes, well, I had to replant, and it's going to be a late harvest, so maybe 4 weeks. Just tomatoes are coming in right now, probably about 4 weeks from now.
Okay, all right. And if people want to get a hold of you, is there a phone number or Facebook?
There is not currently. I don't sell from the house yet.
So basically, if they want your produce, come to the farmers market downtown Monroe.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Looks like you have a little bit of everything here, is that right?
Just a little bit of everything to keep you happy and have a good supper.
Hello, I'm Bobby Cox with Plant Sensations, located here in Monroe, Georgia. We do garden and container design work. We just started our business earlier this spring. We've done quite a few clients here in the city of Monroe already. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, here is the
and I want to connect the community so that we can learn.
you can get in touch with us for Facebook, Instagram. We're Plant Sensation at CO. Facebook and Instagram is at plantsensation.co. And that's the way you can get in touch with us, and we thank you a lot. And we hope to hear from you and see you around.
Okay,
We've had a
you've got
wonderful
some
day here at
beautiful
Monroe.
plants here. You sure do.
Thank you, sir.
How are you? I'm good. How are you doing?
Thank you.
So can you tell me what's happening here?
Yes, so we are Plants.
Hey, my name is Rachel, also known as Dot Green from Dot Green Grows, and I grow fresh cut flowers, and I do dried flower art and unique succulents. So come on out to Monroe and get some funky flowers.
Okay, and how can people contact you?
You can reach me on my website at dotgreengrows.com or on Facebook. I am Dot Green, Instagram Dot Green Georgia.
Okay, and do you ever set up at the farmer's market here in Monroe or anywhere?
I used to sell vegetables here in Monroe, but now I just hit the festival circuit. So I will be at the Summer Shade Festival in Atlanta, August 27th. September I'll be at the Statham Sunflower Festival, and in October the Oconee County Chamber Fall Festival.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Doug from Windy Hill Nursery, and we're here at the Bloom Festival today, and this is Windy Hill Nursery, and we specialize in native perennials, shrubs, and trees. At the moment, we're very young still, so we have lots of perennials moving into shrubs and trees. We also grow color hanging baskets and annuals in the spring, but fall and winter we'll have more perennials and shrubs that are available. We're only about 2 years old. We're located at 3866 England Road, and that's between Youth and Walnut Grove.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there a phone number or something people can reach you?
Well, we are all part-time people.
Okay.
Everybody has full-time jobs, so we don't normally give out phone numbers, but I have been giving people my card with my cell number in it. They have questions about plants. So somebody could text me at 770-634-4879, and I could let them know when we'd be open or when we might be available to be there.
And you prefer text, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Hi everyone, here we are at the Bloom Festival, and already this morning we've done 2 demonstrations on how to make a terrarium. We also have a pizza pot here, pizza in a pot, and we've already sold that, it's going, but we have the information to make that. We're having a lot of fun answering and asking a lot of questions to everybody, and just really enjoying the Bloom Festival.
And tell everybody who you're with Master Gardeners.
We are with the Master Gardeners with the University of Georgia Extension Volunteer Program. And you can find us every Saturday here at the Farmers Market. And we're here to answer questions and just be helpful. And if you want to become a Master Gardener, we're still taking applications through the end of the month. So you can go to our website at www.waltonmastergardeners.com. Click on Become a Master Gardener, and hopefully we'll see you in the classes this fall.
Thank you.
In the middle of hell, 1943, in the wintertime, you can almost see my umbrella. There was my tail gun, old Johnny McGee was a high school teacher in New Orleans, and he had my back right up until the day we.
And the horse is even decorated here at the Monroe Art Guild.
You said come get a picture.
I'm good.
Okay.
This is Paul Mullins, and I'm here at Indian Springs State Park. As you come into the park, you'll see this beautiful shoals out here. Then people are all the time walking the shoals. It is slippery, but it's very cool and refreshing to walk the shoals. But this is the first sight you see as you get to Indian Springs State Park. You can see some people down there having a good time on these shows. And this was the Creek Indians that started this. They're now in Oklahoma.
How you doing?
All right. And Indian Springs Hotel is across the street. In the campground there are some covered picnic areas. As you can see, this one has I think it's 5 tables under it, so you could have a pretty nice get together. And the spaces here are pretty well spaced out. You're not on top of each other. You can see that there's a good spacing and trees between each campsite. So this is unique. And as you can see, there's the restroom shower area. There is one shower in there, I think 3 toilets or 4. So it's pretty adequate for this area here. And again, you can see it's very wooded and just a lot of open spaces here. And as you can see here, see the 35 through 52 are to the left, and the 54 through 62 are to the right. And these are loops. So you go in this area and you come back the same area. So there are loops at each of these. And this is what I'm talking about, a loop at the end. It just makes a big circle. There are campsites out around that circle, and then it comes back up through here for the other camp areas. And also, not far away are always areas for the children to play. I'm going to get a better shot of that. You can see this. Also not far from here is a workout area that for the adults, where they can actually work out. I think there's about 8 different things that they can do, and that's just really neat. If you're here and want to go work out and it's outside, you can work out outside. This is June the 21st, and you might wonder why it's so vacant. They said that Father's Day was the 19th, and said this place was packed out, so I guess it's a little bit of a lull here before the weekend. As you can see, Monroe's getting a new water tank. You see the big crane there going to pick up the new one and take this one out of the way and put a new water tank here in Monroe. This is an all-time first live. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson, and I'm here with another recreation report. It is an awfully hot start to the summer, and we've got a great idea for you. The splash park out at Ayers Park in between is doing some great business right now. There's a lot of kids having a great time out there. We're averaging around 200 people per day coming out there. Also, if you're wanting a birthday party or a rental after hours from 6:30 to 8, we're booking up extremely fast. So you'll need to call one of our community centers. It's a great place to have a birthday party or any type of event for your kids. But again, I'd go out there anytime during the week. We're closed on Mondays, but we are open from 10 until till about 6 o'clock daily, Tuesday through Sunday. So it's a great place to cool off, have fun. It's kind of a playground with water features all over the place, so it stays a lot cooler out there. Also at Ayers Park that seems to be very popular is our new pickleball courts. There's 4 very nice courts out there to play on. It's adjacent to the splash park. There's also a frisbee golf course and a walking track out there that's in the woods, so it's a lot cooler out there because it stays shaded the entire wall. We have other places also. It's a little too hot to exercise at some of the outdoor walking tracks, but just remember our indoor facilities here at Meridian and at Felker Park, and soon to open, hopefully next week, will be our South Walton Community Center. Our equipment's slated to come in on the 22nd of June, so we'll be putting all of the Nautilus equipment and having that the third of our community centers in place. Again, you join one, you're a member at all 3. So if you would like and you're a member out at Meridian or at Felker Park and you just want to see a different scenery, it's a great place to go. Try next week. Like I said, around the 22nd, we'll be putting in the equipment, and then a couple of days after that. So at least by the 1st of July, it'll be all set up and ready to go. So for different scenery, go down to South Walton and check out the new facility. It's very, very nice and roomy. It's very, very well built. In our athletic programs, our baseball and softball teams, our all-star teams have done really well. Our baseball teams are playing for the state championship this week. This weekend, the 18th and 19th. Hopefully we'll have a few teams from Walton County win the USSSA All-Star State Championship. All those games will be held in Covington at City Pond Park and Turner Lake Park. So good luck to our Walton County teams that are playing in that. I do want to let you know our registration for our fall events, which is always our biggest sports program because we have so many other activities going on. We have our baseball and softball registration that is complete. If you're looking to participate in that or soccer, you'll need to contact the office that you want to play in and see if they have a spot available. Our football and cheerleading program, our registration is complete there also, but we do have a few slots available. So if you want to play football this year, and it is going to be ran a little differently, being that we're going by the school zone that you're in, and we're playing in the North Georgia Youth Football Association. So games will be played on the weekends. So please contact the area that you're in, Monroe, Loganville, or Social Circle, and get signed up today for football and cheerleading. We really need to get the cheerleading outfits ordered. We need to get you placed on the football team that you're going to be in. We only have very few spots available, so please get registered for that. Go on our website at waltoncountyga.gov. It's the best place to see where all the parks are, all the sports programs that we're offering. Our adult and our summer athletic programs have already started. Our youth volleyball for our girls and our summer basketball programs, they both have started and are playing at the community centers now. So we have a lot of activities going on, a lot of parks that are available for you. Yeah, go to our website and give it a look. I'm sure there's something there for you to enjoy out here. And if it's just too hot, then go into our community centers. We try to keep them nice and comfortable for everyone to still get the exercise they need and want. So as always, remember, sportsmanship starts at home, and we hope to see you getting registered soon, and come out to the Splash Park and get cooled off. See you next time.
Hey Walton County, it's Patrice Broughton, your Public Information Officer here with another county update. We'll start with the information from our Board of Commissioners meeting that was held on Tuesday, June 7th. At the beginning of the meeting, we recognized the 4-H shotgun team for winning the state championship. We really are proud of everyone that participated in that sport. You have to be a great marksman, and a lot of those kids put in a lot of hard work to be able to go to state and take the competition. This month we had a lot of Planning Commission recommendations, and we started with the rezone of 8.6 acres from A1 to B2, and the applicants wanted to put outside storage on property located on Georgia Highway 11 and Malin Smith Road, and it was approved with conditions. You can see those conditions on the Walton County website under the meeting summary under the government tab. We next had a rezone of 5 acres from A to A1 for the applicant, and it was approved. So we had an approval with conditions of a rezone of 5.28 acres from A1 to R1 to grow and sell plants with customer contact, and it was approved with conditions. Again, you can see those conditions on the agenda summary that can be found on the Walton County website. They rezoned and approved 12.79 acres from B2 to B3 to allow for car storage and shipping. They approved with conditions a rezone of 11.56 acres from A2 and B2 to B3 for office, warehouse, and outside storage space. They also approved the rezone of 2 acres from R1 to B2 to expand mini warehouses and outside storage. And again, you can find all of those conditions online on the agenda summary. So we had a public hearing for our capital improvements element annual update and adoption of the resolution, and it was adopted. We also adopted the resolution for Walton County's comprehensive plan update. This Walton County comprehensive plan can be found online under the Planning and Development tab of the Walton County website. There you can see all of the recommendations for the growth of Walton County for the next 5 years, as well as the land use maps. If you have any questions about anything in the updated plan or on the maps, you can give a call to the planning department, and they will be happy to explain all of those things to you. We encourage everybody to go and take a look so that they see how Walton County intends to grow and how we intend to allow businesses and developments to occur in Walton County for the next 5 years. So we had a proposal that was approved for McCarthy and Barnsley. We also approved a proposal from Sunset Builders for courtroom renovation, and we had a bid for the agricultural extension office building that was approved for bond building services in the amount of $875,892. We had several resolutions on the agenda for this month, and a lot of those had to do with the current budget and the adoption of the fiscal year 2023 budget. The board adopted a resolution that authorizes Chairman Thompson to amend the 22 budget as part of the fiscal year and the closing processes. So he has those powers to amend without having to come before the board for the next month. And we also had a few budget amendments for fiscal year 22. Chairman Thompson gave a presentation on the fiscal year 2023 budget. He wanted to make some clarifications on the budget, and you can find that presentation on the Walton County website under County News and Events. It is a very short presentation, which is comprised of about 3 slides, but it breaks down some numbers and the millage rate history for the last 10 years so that residents and citizens can go on and understand what they are considering, what has been considered in the past, and they approve the budget with the intentions of keeping the millage rate the same. So you can go and see what that millage rate is for the cities and the unincorporated areas of Walton County. So they had a discussion about the Azalea Regional Library and their request for support of a grant application and funding commitment, and they did approve that request from the library board. We then went into executive session, and in executive session they discussed real estate, and as part of that real estate they discussed the option to advertise and lease a portion of park property in Walnut Grove for agricultural purposes through 2023. So be on the lookout for more information about that. And they approved the purchase of 137 East Washington Street, which is the property of our Carter Watkins and Associates, in the amount of $550,000. So that will become a part of Walton County Annex, and it will be used for office space. Our county manager gave an update as well. We now have a temporary building in place for the Good Hope fire station location, Station 7, and they are in the process of rebuilding that station, but we do have an engine and a temporary location available, and they are operating full service out of that temporary location at this moment. We also talked about the water usage here in Walton County and how we're close to peaking out at Cornish Creek, and we're encouraging everybody to conserve water a little so that, you know, as we move into the hotter days of summer, that we're keeping an eye on our water usage, and you know, we're still able to meet the demand without peaking out at Cornish Creek and other reservoirs that we use. Again, you can find the numbers for our water usage for the month of May online in that same presentation that Chairman Thompson gave on the budget. So if you have any questions about any of the things that we discussed here on our Walton County update, please feel free to give us a call at 770-267-1301. Again, we're hoping everybody stays safe and that you're having a great summer thus far.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. As always, we're going to show you some of the dogs that are here at the Walton County Animal Shelter. You know, we're showing you just dogs, but we also have cats in the shelter. It's just kind of hard to bring them outside. They might run off on us. But if you go on waltonpets.net, you can see all of our cats that are listed there. We've entered kitten season, and so we're getting in dozens of kittens per week, and it's hard to find homes for them all. So if you're looking to add a cat into your home, go to waltonpets.net. You can see them all listed there. Or if you've got space for a dog and been wanting to adopt, you can see them there as well. The application is online. It's real simple. You fill it out. Once that's approved, someone from the shelter will contact you. You can come and meet the dog or the cat. We have indoor and outdoor interaction areas. You could bring your current pet to meet the dog to make sure that everything's okay before you adopt. So it's a real easy process. Just go on waltonpets.net. And you know, one more reminder, it's summertime, it's Georgia, it should go without saying, it's darn hot outside. So do right by your pets, bring your dogs inside where it's comfortable with you. They'll be much happier and they'll love you for it. And so thanks for tuning in, and we'll show you some of those dogs that are available for adoption at Walton County Animal Control.
We have a female Great Pyrenees. She's probably a year to 2 years old. She's not fixed. We are calling her Reba. She's a really sweet.
This guy's name is Ammo. He was picked up in an eviction, and obviously he didn't have the best care. He might need a little bit of extra love and extra vet care, so if you've got a big heart and a little bit of funds, you can rescue Ammo and give him the life he deserves. Just look at him on waltonpets.net.
This is Minnie and this is Winnie. They're 2 5-month-old sisters that came in together as strays. They don't have to live together, but I'm sure they would love it. And then you can put in applications for them at waltonpets.net.
Here we have a male Great Pyrenees. He's between a year to 2 years old. He's not neutered, and as you can see, he's really sweet. And we are calling him Waylon.
So this is Creek. He's a happy young boy. He's about 10 months old. He was surrendered by his owner, so he needs a new home. He's just a playful young guy, and he did well interacting with other dogs here in the shelter. So if you got room in your house, come on down and adopt Creek.
Hi, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. I thought I'd skip ahead to July. We're almost, by the time you see this, we'll be almost at the end of June. And things will be a little bit quiet here. We'll still have our tiny art show going on through July 7th. We'll have our workshops and ongoing classes, our weekly classes still going on. No special big events until July. On July 2nd, which is a Saturday, the first Saturday, that is going to be Hero Day. It's a day, I believe, I haven't gotten any updates from the city, but I believe it's going to be a citywide kind of event where they're going to try to pull in the other businesses as well, kind of like Unicorn Day and that kind of thing. So it's Hero Day, and it's not so much Superhero Day, although that's certainly one interpretation, but I think they're talking more about everyday heroes, first responders, police officers, military, things like that, kind of a patriotic feeling. So that is on July 2nd. I don't have a whole lot of details about it beyond that, except look for some special things to be happening on that weekend to celebrate Independence Day. Here at the Arts Center, that will be our soiree day, so we will have at least a couple of different workshops. Not exactly sure what our workshops will be that day, but we should have at least 2 different workshops and some fun things going on that day. That's also the first Saturday is our Paint and Pizza Day. I haven't talked about that in a while. Our Paint and Pizza Day is for ages 6 and up. Usually the upper range is around 12 years old, maybe 13 or 14. And it's like sip and paint for grown-ups, except this is for little kids. They have a painting that they all work on together. Donna feeds them pizza and drinks, and they just have a really good time. And that's usually, unless Donna has some kind of conflict, that's usually on the first Saturday of the month from 12 to 2. And you register with Donna. So if you ever have questions about especially our children's programs, but really any of our educational art classes, workshops, Donna is our education chair, and she is kind of the point person. So for Paint and Pizza, for Sip and Paint, for our after-school arts program, Donna teaches all of those. So her email is donna@monroeartguild.org. And you can email her about especially the children's programs, but any of our educational programs, and she will help you. So that's on the first Saturday. Also on Sunday, July 3rd, we are pitching our tent over at the McDaniel Titchener House for their Independence Day celebration over there. They are bringing that back, and I think that's been on hiatus for at least 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure when the last one was held, but it'll be a free family day of music. We'll have some activities, an art activity that's free for kids. Other things will be going on there too. You can bring a picnic lunch, just spread out there on the grounds at the McDaniel Titchener House, and that's on Sunday, July 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. So that's coming up in July. In July, we also have the Monroe Museum show installing. That's a collaborative event that will be a lot of fun, a lot of history, a lot of art that they haven't been able to display over at the museum. They're bringing over here to us, and it will be a fascinating display. And that will be installing about the middle of the month of July, and will be up for about a month. So be sure to stop in and see that. So the Tiny Art Show is here through the 7th, and then the Monroe Museum show is the next show after that. Our regional show, art show, is our kind of more fine arts juried show. That has the online submissions will start on June 20th, and that's a juried show, so you submit your pieces online. We have jurists from Athens that will pick and choose what comes into the show, and it's a real honor to get picked to be in our regional show, so I hope you'll consider that. Any of this information, you can come by here, pick up a class list, you can pick up the information for the shows. We've got the guidelines for any of our upcoming shows, and we just love to see you and hope you'll come on the 2nd, hope you'll come on the 3rd to the McDaniel Titchener House, and we will see you soon.
Hey, I'm Isaac over at Reboot. Just wanted to give you a little tech tip today. I wanted to talk about cybersecurity and hacking and stuff like that, data loss, just all that stuff that people are scared about. There's not too much to really be scared about. Typically, your general person is not going to get hacked. Usually the way it works is, some government entity will be hacked, or some large company will be hacked, somebody that may have your information, and that can be a problem, obviously. If some company gets hacked that has your social security number or credit card numbers or something like that, that can be a problem. But generally, your regular person, your regular business, even medium-sized businesses, typically are not the ones that are going to get hacked. Government places will get hacked, large-scale businesses will get hacked, stuff like that. And I tell people, look, if you're on the internet, somebody can get to you. You can be hacked. That's just how it is today. If a hacker wants to spend enough time messing with you, eventually they're going to get in. That's the bottom line. So anybody, that's selling you, cybersecurity and will tell you up front, hey, you'll never get hacked and all that stuff, that's a lie. The smartest thing to do, if you own a company or if you have data, that you want to make sure nobody can get to or whatever, is you need to have some backups. The smartest thing is get you like an external drive that you can back up, that's on your computer, and unplug that thing every day. Just plug it in when you do your backup and then unplug it when it's done. That's a smart thing. Have you some sort of cloud backup, like Carbonite or iBackup, or there's 100 of them out there, or 1,000 of them out there. That's another smart thing to do. So if you do get hacked by some chance, you'll have that data also. Because companies, we hear about it all the time. Cybersecurity companies get hacked. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen or not. It's if a hacker finds interest in you, they're going to get in. And that's really the bottom line. So it's always smart to have your data safe. One other thing too that I'll touch on that, these companies, they'll sell like ID insurance. Like I use one called ID Shield. Again, there's 100 of them out there. I like that because your identity can be stolen easily these days because of some hacker or something like that. Credit card info, social security number, filing false tax returns under your identity, stuff like that. So I highly recommend doing one of those. Again, I use one called ID Shield. It's like 20 bucks a month or 40 bucks a month for my whole family. We had one of my kids had a false tax return filed on them, I think in California one time, and it's kind of why I got started on it. But if anything happens now with my identity or any of my kids' identity, they take care of it. Like I don't have to worry about it. They pay for stuff, all that, for like 40 bucks a month. So if you want to keep yourself safe, I think that's a good way to do it. And then always back up your data and be smart about what you do online, where you go online. If you're doing online banking, make sure you have complicated passwords. Make sure you change those passwords. Just be smart about your stuff. Don't get on public Wi-Fi is another big one. That's it for today. Isaac giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
I call them the peace out generation. Which, by the way, my college freshmen told me, they're like, Dr. Furman, that's like so not cool anymore. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like drop the mic? Like what? And they're like, just don't do anything. Like just say peace out. I like doing that. They're the peace out generation, because if they're not happy, they're out. If they're not happy at work, they're quitting, and they don't even give you 2 weeks notice. If they don't like you, they're breaking up with you, and they don't even tell you. Because what's that called, y'all? Ghosting. They're gonna totally ghost you. Gen X isn't happy, they go home, they bitch about it, they write like 6 resignation letters to themselves, they get up the next morning, put their pants back on, and like they go to work, right? Not them, they're not happy, they're out. And that is why a lot of them are resigning during this great resignation, because if they don't feel like you care about them, they're out. And this is where the big disconnect is. The way that they want to be cared about is different than how you think they want to be cared about, okay? So let's take a look at them here real quick. Let's talk about what they lived through growing up so you understand their lens. My yellows, how old were you when 9/11 happened? Whoever said 18, you're probably more of a cusper and you're demonstrating more Gen X tendencies. The rest of you who are like 15 and younger, so I heard 7, 8, 11, okay? How old were you when Columbine happened? That was 98. 8, 6, okay? I have my cusper over here. What were you told was gonna happen on December 31st, 1999? Okay, so I want you all to think about this. This generation, as young children, had a terrorist attack on US soil that we were told was never gonna happen again since Pearl Harbor. They suddenly had these mass school shootings. You were told that the end of the world was going to happen on New Year's Eve. You had Al Gore telling you that the hole in the ozone layer was so big that you were gonna have to wear sunblock and sunglasses every single time you went outside. You saw your parents who were solely committed and loyal to that one organization, they let them go. They lost their job, they lost their pension, and they're having to work longer. I want you all to think about this. And so their boomer parents became helicopter parents, and they hovered because life was scary. Can you blame them? Look what they lived through as children. They were old enough to know that scary things were going on, but they weren't emotionally mature enough to process it. And because of that, they are not aspiring for career success. They're not aspiring for job security. Oh, heck no. They aspire for freedom and flexibility because they're living for today because they don't know where tomorrow is going to look like. And that's where you have the big clash between Gen X and millennials, okay? So their communication preference is text or social media. I thought they were going to grow more thumbs because they text away. And their decision-making authority is they want decision-making input. That was important to them. So all of us are in these meetings, and they're standing outside the door going, ooh, can I get in that meeting? And we're all like, really? And they're like, well, yeah, because I can make better decisions than all of you in that room. And it's because growing up, they were given decision-making authority. K through 12 gave them options. Do you want this or do you want this? I even think about vacations, okay? My mom said to me, get your ass in the back of the station wagon. Do y'all remember station wagons riding backwards? I was like car sick all the time. And we get in the car and she says, we're going on vacation. So I'm like, okay, Ma, where are we going on vacation? And she's like, we'll figure it out when you get there. And we go like 2 towns over. And I'm like, Ma, I thought we were on vacation. And she says, we're not home, are we? If we're not home, we're on vacation. Fast forward, boomers texting their kids, family meeting, 6 o'clock dining room. So you all get together. Yeah, how many of you have family meetings? Yeah, you know you have them. And they're like, honey, where would you like to go on vacation this year? Should we go to the beach? Should we go to Disney World? Or I even think about breakfast, y'all. So my mom said to me on her way out to work, there's cereal in the cupboard, help yourself, where the millennials are coming into the kitchen and mom and dad are like, honey, what would you like for breakfast? And y'all, I saw it. I saw it with my sister, who's a millennial. They're like, would you like cereal or toast or pancakes? And I'm like, pancakes? I had pancakes on Christmas morning, if I was lucky, right? So they had choices. So now they're showing up to your workplaces wanting choices, and you want to know what Gen X is doing to them? Y'all ready? Y'all familiar with the Heisman? They're like, eh. And they're like, oh, but I have this really good idea. Eh. Well, why can't we do this? Eh. And they're like, eh. How many letters do you have after your name? Eh. How long have you been with this organization? Eh. What's your student loan debt ratio that I'm still paying off, right? And when Gen X does this, they do this. And that's why when organizations hire me and give me this money and say, come in and fix our damn millennials, I say to them, you know what? Okay, I'm going to come, but I end up spending all of the time working with my Gen X managers. Okay? They are 36% of the workforce, and they're growing exponentially. By 2025, they will be 75% of the global workforce. So you need to get on board or you need to jump ship. Because if you don't, you're going to either sink your ship or they're going to walk you off the plank. Because they are massive disruptors. That's an academic term. They're changing how everything is done. Why do we have a 5-day work week? Why do we work 40 hours a week? Why are there banker hours? Why do I have to dress professionally? Why? And if because you say, because I said so, or that's the way we've always done it, they're out. They're massive disruptors, and you got to be worried about that piece out. Okay? So let's quickly go through Gen Z. I call them the meh generation, M-E-H-H. They're really not fazed by anything. They grew up during the Great Recession. Like, meh, what's the big deal? They only know a world with terrorism in it. Like, meh, what's the big deal? Like, blow yourself up. Like, clean it up. Like, come on, let's keep going. You know, like, same-sex marriage. What's the big deal? Why do people care? Right? They've seen a black president. They've now seen a woman vice president. They only know a world with social media. But here's what's significant. This is going to be the first generation where the Caucasian generation becomes the minority population in America. And they are so dialed into security and stability, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you are not being inclusive and seeing people as individuals, they're going to call you out on it, and they're not afraid to do it, okay? Their communication preference, virtual, because they keep reinventing it. They're not texting. What are they doing? It's all videos, yeah. And they yearn for face-to-face attention. Any guesses as to why they yearn for face-to-face attention? Because their Gen X parents are such workaholics, they've neglected them of that face-to-face attention. So you go home and you all think about that tonight, okay? We don't know what their decision-making method is because their Gen X parents are like, I'm the parent, you're the child, you're not making decisions. And we don't know what percentage of the workforce they are because they're just now entering the workforce, which the worst mistake you can make is calling a Gen Zer a millennial, because number one, millennials hate being called millennials. So right now, everybody needs to take that M word out of their vocabulary. It doesn't exist. They hate it, and Gen Z hates it even more. The millennials are 25 to 40-ish, which makes me a little uncomfortable because it's really hard to compare a 28-year-old and a 38-year-old, okay? Here, 24 to 12 are your Gen Zs, and they're very different than millennials. All right, let's move on. What you have to be worried about is they are clashing with Gen Y, the millennials, pretty dramatically because they show up to work on time, they shake hands, they make eye contact, they're dressed professionally. They have a formal signature on their email. Like they email me, Dr. Furman, I apologize for not coming to class next week. I apologize for the inconvenience. And I'm like, you're not inconveniencing me, but okay. But I've already met with my classmates. I'm gonna make up what I missed, sincerely signature. These are my millennials, texted me in the middle of the night. Yo, Mel. When's our next exam? And I'm like, yesterday. Oh, can I make it up? No. Can I get extra credit? No. Next thing I know, mom and dad's calling me. Johnny missed his exam. No, I know. Can he make it up? No. Can he get extra credit? No. Well, I'm calling the dean. I am the dean. Like, no. So very, very different. Okay, so let's keep moving. What we're worried about with this generation is that they are forced to behave like adults as children. We, Gen Z, we have them doing budgeting in middle school. We have them picking careers in middle school. Picking a career is a very adult decision. So we are expecting them to behave like adults as children, not healthy, by the way. And we're curious that when they actually get out into the workforce, can they really do this thing called adulting? I don't have time to give examples and go into it, but if you want to know more, you can reach out to me and I can give you some more information about that. Okay, so many of your Gen Xers are experiencing burnout, and they are very comfortable with doing things their way. So if, my young folks, you show up and you get this in your face, don't just turn around and quit and peace out. Be patient, build a relationship with them, because they can answer your why. They just don't have time. I don't have time to explain to them why we do what we do. So find when they have more time and they can explain it to you. Okay? Do you all know what this is? That's a high-end typewriter. Boomers may be feeling a little obsolete, and they're not going anywhere. So reinvent them. Give them opportunities to reinvent and recharge them. And they are awesome mentors for your millennials. They gave birth to them, okay? And so don't just write them off and wait, count the days till they retire. Use them. They have so much expertise to provide you. Don't think that the millennials are trophy kids. I hate when I hear that, because here's what I'm going to say to you. Who is giving them the trophies? Were they giving themselves the trophies? No, their parents were. And here, at the end of the day, everybody wants a trophy. Everybody wants to be rewarded across all generations. Everybody wants feedback. And so how many of you have performance reviews? How often are they? Quarterly? Yes. They're not performance, they're coaching. You're awesome. He's on it. Y'all need to listen to him. So most people have an annual performance review. That is so dated and obsolete and not engaging your young professionals. Right now, they put something on social media and they instantly get 1,000 pieces of feedback. But yet when they show up in your workplaces, they only get it once a year, and most of the time you rush through it. Where here, this gentleman said they have quarterly coaching reviews, and that is great, because you're not necessarily reviewing their performance, you're having a conversation with them and helping them grow and develop. But here's what I'm gonna tell you, my young folks. If you're not getting the feedback that you need and want, ask for it, okay? Go to the next one. The younger generations want to make a difference, so think about your impact and bring that impact into focus. Every single one of your organizations, you should be able to drill down to your impact. The youngest generation of Gen Z cares a whole lot about your corporate values or your social responsibility. So if you cannot clearly articulate and demonstrate that you're living the values of your organization, they may not want to come work for you, okay? The younger generations like everything personalized, so my millennials, hold up your phones. I know you have them out within arm's reach. Everybody kind of look around at the phones at your table. Okay, Gen X, hold up your phone and or phones. All right, so what you may notice is the younger folks, all of their phone cases are personalized. Like it's sparkles, it's football, it's something personalized. And then you see Gen X and it's like black, white, whatever came free with the case. And if it's something fancy, it's because your kids or grandkids bought it for you and you felt bad, so you put it on, right? So to this point, the gentleman made up front is the one-size-fits-all consistency that HR loves to preach to y'all. That's obsolete, sorry, HR. It's dated. You now have to think about all of your employees as individuals and get to know them individually, and you need to coach them. And you're not going to coach your quarterback the same way you're going to coach your offensive lineman. Okay? Answer their why, and if it's because I said so or that's the way we've always done it, you need to rethink. The young people expect and demand innovation. So if your organizations are not demonstrating, eating, living, breathing innovation, they're out. Okay, so I'm going to close here, and y'all, here's what's super cool. I can do this in 3 minutes or less because it's not rocket science. It's really very, very simple, which I already said. The first thing you need to do is you need to care. And Gen X is like, do I really need to care, or can I just like pretend like I care? You not only need to care, you need to communicate that you care. And that's where some of you may not be great at communicating that. People want to know that you care about them. And you have to stop thinking of them as millennials or boomers or Gen X or compartmentalizing or giving them whatever label you want to give them. You need to start thinking of them as individuals and understand that every single one of them has a different lens in how they see the world. And you don't have to like their lens, you don't have to agree with their lens, but you have to respect their lens, okay? Because everybody comes from a different upbringing, different background. And so the more that you can learn about yourself and you can learn about others, so if any of you have access to assessments that you can take, and we talked about this in the women's program this morning, you need to learn about who you are, your biases, your blind spots, your strengths, your preferences, your communication styles. And then once you know that, you need to learn that about all of your people. And then you need to adjust and meet somewhere in the middle. Because you don't ever want to assume anything. Because if you assume that someone's older, they don't know how to use technology, or the young people are like IT support, you don't want to do that. You're compartmentalizing. And so to get to know your people, you have to be approachable and available. And again, this is where my older folks are struggling with this. You're so stressed, you're so overworked, you're doing a job of 3 people, you're balancing all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, we need to schedule care time on your calendar. And they're like, really? I said, no, you do. And it has to be daily, self-care and the care of others, and you have to be approachable and available so these young people can learn from you. And focus on the similarities. Think about that exercise we did. Go back to your offices. Music is a great thing to bring people together. So maybe on Fridays, wear your favorite concert t-shirt day, right? Mine's going to be the Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Faith No More concert. My U2 concert, you know? Backstreet Boys? Yeah, sweet. So focus on the similarities, not the differences. Okay, who is this? Okay, you make me feel so much better because my college students are like, Karate Kid? That's the movie with like Will Smith's son. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so real quick, 80s references, name the movie. This is our time. This is our time down here. Don't feed him after midnight. Ludicrous Speed. Spaceballs. Yes. Something about, I'll just say Goose. Yeah, okay. I feel like I need to teach a class of nothing but all of the fun 80s movies that my college students have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, this right here is you need to be someone's Mr. Miyagi. Okay? If you take the experience and the work ethic and the resiliency of the older generations and you take them with the ambition and the innovation and the creativity of the younger generation and you put them together, your organizations are freaking amazing. But you have to be Mr. Miyagi, right? Because Daniel's son was like super annoying, right? Like he was like always in his face and he was breaking his bonsai and he was like doing all this stuff. And what did Mr. Miyagi do? He was emotionally mature. And he was calm, wax on, wax off, and he helped him be better. Somebody mentored you at some point, so now it's your job to lean in and mentor them. So rather than do this, lean in instead. Okay, so in closing, my last slide here is this whole 45-minute thing you sat through today was a diversity training, because that's what this is. Recognizing and understanding that everybody has something to bring to the table and they all have a different lens, and to stop compartmentalizing. help them grow professionally and emotionally so they get to that maturity level that you need them to be to bring your organization into the future and to be successful into the future. So that's all I got. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions, Terry does have a handout. We didn't tell you that on the front end, that she's going to email to all of you that has everything that was in my slides, so don't worry if you missed something. And if you have any questions, anything you want, reach out to me. And if you want, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I curate a lot of articles about this topic and my other topics. You know that they come from reliable resources, and I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So thank you for having me. I'm 1 minute over. Not bad.